ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. And I know I am because Jesus criminy. It's only been 3 days in office, and there is so much good news Trump has been doing. There's no way to keep it up with it all. There's the bad news, there's the horrible news, but there's just so much news that's happening. It's hard for me to keep up. I'm not going to get through all today. I probably won't even get through all tomorrow, but that's a good sign, my friends. I may go into the weekend as well, so that way we get a bit more information going through so I can catch up, because this is so much good news. Well, what we have here, my friends, is that Trump is sending 1,500 troops to the border of Mexico. He is not playing around, and as we shouldn't. We have this here. Pentagon is sending 1,500 active duty troops to help secure the U.S.-Mexico border. Goes on to say here, the Pentagon said Wednesday has begun deploying 1,500 active duty troops to help secure the southern border, putting in motion plans President Donald Trump laid out in executive order shortly after he took office to crack down on immigration. Acting Defense Secretary Robert Salas said the troops will fly helicopters to assist Border Patrol agents and help in the construction of barriers. The Pentagon also will provide military aircraft for Department of Homeland Security deportation flights for more than 5,000 detained migrants. The number of troops and their mission may soon change, Salas has said in a statement. This is just the beginning, he said. Yeah. So it is really become a reckoning for these illegal immigrants. They are crying. They're crying, sad, and we love to see it. I think the best part here, though, is that it's not over. It's just the beginning. And of course, I'm gonna have another video for you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that video out specifically today because I have other things that I must do, and the time just is not really on my side. But I will try to get my best out to get more of this stuff out for you guys. Now, what we have here, specifically from the Washington Post, says Trump shuts off access to asylum, plans to send 10,000 troops to border. It says President Trump is preparing to send around 10,000 troops to the southern border, and Border Patrol agents have been directed to deny entry to asylum seekers if they travel through a country with a communicable disease, according to a U.S. Customs and Border Protection briefing document obtained by the Washington Post. The order does not list any specific disease, but essentially closing the border to anyone attempting to exercise the right to seek humanitarian refuge under the U.S. law. I think the bigger problem is right now is that we can't be accepting refugees when we have such a border crisis in our country right now, right? I think the bigger issue is that we have to shut everything down for a certain period of time, whether it be half a year, 2 years, etc., until we can get our actual border under control and our housing crisis under the control and other stuff like that. Because otherwise, it's not great, right? To start, the Defense Department is expected to order at least 1,000 additional troops to the southern border in what could be the first of several waves of deployment. According to two U.S. officials familiar with the discussion who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the issue. The CBP briefing delivered Tuesday to senior staff at the agency's headquarters in Washington by newly appointed Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks instructs U.S. agents to use extraordinary emergency authority to close the border. The only two Border Patrol officials who can authorize the release of an asylum seeker into the United States with a pending humanitarian claim are Banks and his deputy. So yeah. And it goes on to say here, the briefing document is an early glimpse into the real-world application of the full assault of executive orders Trump issued Monday and their transition to the field guidance for the Border Patrol's 19,000 agents. Trump also shut down the app as well. So now that the app has been shut down, they're having a lot of hard time trying to get in. This is the woman crying here. Now, here's the thing. They're trying to do this sad woman crying or whatever, and to try to pull on your heartstrings. Don't let them play with you. Now, ladies, I understand that emotions are stronger with you. It's a bigger thing for you guys, and this is probably going to affect you a bit more because of emotional standard. But the point of the matter is that don't let them ploy you. This is what they're trying to use in order to say, oh, no, this is horrible. No, we cannot be allowing this. Sometimes tough decisions require unemotional points, and this is one of them. We cannot be feeling sympathy for these people. They came into our country illegally, and they're ready to defy our laws and all this stuff. So it's quite terrible. Again, we have here, New York man arrested during human trafficking raid, and Alliston, Boston police say. So yeah, so it says a New York man was arrested Tuesday night on charges related to human trafficking and prostitution in Alliston, Boston police said. Police said members of the Boston Police Human Trafficking Unit and officers from the Alston Brighton District arrested Zhao Fong Wang, 26 of Oakland Gardens, New York, around 8 o'clock p.m. Tuesday. Earlier in the day, police said detectives launched an investigation into the department building at 55 Brighton Avenue after receiving information regarding suspected commercial sex activity at the location. Police said officers conducted extensive surveillance and intelligence during the investigation, which revealed that advertisements for sexual services had been posted on an online platform where dates were arranged through a solicited phone number. Yeah, so again, when these people come into our country, this is what they're doing. We can't not be allowing this type of thing, man. Like, it's just disgusting. And of course, women are the ones that are being paying the price, or what have you. We have Charlie Kirk here saying ICE has already arrested nearly 500 violent criminal illegals and removed them from the streets in 36 hours. These are thugs whose whereabouts and crimes were well known by local officials, but Democrats refuse to detain. Insanity. Every single arrest means there will be one less Laken Riley, one less Jocelyn Nungri, and one less Rachel Morin. Any Democrat sanctuary jurisdictions refusing to comply, or worse, actively impeding presidential deportation orders must be defunded and likely prosecuted. Mess around and find out. Yes, I would 100% agree. I think the matter of this is that the Democrats voted against this. Democrats voted to push us away, and now we're here, right? Now we're here, and this is probably the best thing to do. We can't be just allowing these people to go through, right? It says that even there from the World Hall of Fun, this is Corey Alvarez, a Haitian migrant. Last year, Biden and Harris flew him to the U.S. under their parole program. He was living in a luxury tax-funded hotel. He then raped a disabled girl in Boston. A judge released him on a $500 bail. This is the love and care for American citizens, right? They love our American citizens so much is that this man was, a Haitian migrant, and he goes out and rapes somebody in Boston. This is the reality that we're living in, right? And the judge releases him. We can't be allowing this type of thing, man. And of course, we have this here. It says Mexico preps tent cities for migrants ahead of Trump's deportation promise. And it says Mexico is preparing for President Trump's promised mass deportations. Currently, giant tech shelters are being constructed in 9 border towns, and reparation centers are being set up across 11 locations in Mexico, according to officials. So, Mexico is now being forced to listen to Trump because Trump is not messing around. You can't be playing like, oh, we're just tough people when you don't have the power to do so. So be as it may. So it's not going good. And, of course, we have this here. We have a federal judge temporarily blocks Trump's executive order redefining birthright citizenship. Says a federal judge on Thursday temporarily blocked President Trump's executive order redefining birthright citizenship, calling it blatantly unconstitutional during the first hearing on a multi-state effort challenging the order. Yes, currently there's 22 states that are suing, Trump for this, for being unconstitutional. But here's a couple of things that I want to go over, right? Because these are the things that are actually what's important here. So what we have here with this being a thing, right? We have this here with Tim Pool pretty much saying, was the 14th Amendment intended to give all people born here citizenship in the future? It goes on to say here that the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, ratified in 1868, was intended to address issues of citizenship and rights following the Civil War, particularly to secure rights for former slaves, specifically Section 1 of the 14th Amendment states. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. So that's what's going on here, right? This is what's from Grok, etc. And I'll put my opinions out here, right? I agree with this statement. I agree that when they were talking about the 14th Amendment, I'm pretty sure, almost damn near certain, that they were not talking about people coming from other countries giving birth here and then letting them be natural born citizens. No, that's insanity to me. That means that, for example, if you are 1 month away from pregnancy or 3 weeks away from pregnancy and you come over here, give birth, that kid's a natural born citizen. No, that's insane. That's the same thing here as like some guy saying like, some guy coming over here and he was from another country and him being born a citizen. That's insane. That doesn't make any damn sense. So that's what's going on here, right? And Of course, it says it goes on to say here, the legislative and judicial precedents, the Supreme Court has genuinely affirmed this broader interpretation, notably in cases like the United States v. Wong, Camp Park, 1988, where it was held that a child born in the United States to Chinese immigrants was a U.S. citizen, and that's a problem, right? I don't agree with this. I don't agree if you are from another country and you have a kid here that they should be a born national citizen. That's crazy. They need to be a actual American here for them to be a citizen, right? That's the way it should be. I think that's what it is. And I don't, well, last time I checked, this is not how that is. You can come over here, be pregnant, and give birth, and they're a citizen, regardless whether or not you are regardless whether you're not an American citizen or not. That's insane. That's not what should be allowed here. And here's the full quote on what he said with what the guy has said here on this matter, right? And give me a second here because I gotta prop up. Okay, here we go. It says the person that actually said this was Howard, explaining that subject to the jurisdiction meant not merely subject in some respect, degree, or the jurisdiction of the United States. So yeah, it was Howard that has said this, and the one thing that we're talking about here is that this is his full quote saying, "This amendment, which I have offered, is simply delegatory of what I regard as the law of the land already. That every person born within the limits of the United States and subject to the jurisdiction is by virtue of natural law and national law a citizen of the United States. This will not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens who belong to the families of ambassadors or foreign ministers accredited to the government of the United States, but will include every other class of persons. It settles the great question of citizenship and removes all doubt as to what persons are or are not citizens of the United States. This has long been a great distinction in the jurisprudence of legislation of this country." Yes, so that is his full quote. So, yes, that means that when people come over here from a foreign country, whether it be Canada or it comes from Europe, Russia, China, etc., when they come over here and they have kids, does not mean they are a U.S. born citizen. It means that they are just a resident here. They're just a person that happened to be born here. They're not an actual naturally born U.S. citizen. And I agree with this statement. So this makes it to where you can't have people that don't speak English and the families are allowed to stay here because their kid is a citizen. So no, that's not how that should work. No. And I'm not saying that these people now should be deported because that's insane. But well, maybe because this was always in law. But again, this is insanity. I think maybe their citizenship should be revoked or whatever. Maybe that we could go with there. We could disagree or disagree with that one. That'd be good for discussion. But nevertheless, natural born citizenship was for citizens that were actually Americans and having kids here. It was not meant for people coming over across seas and giving birth to kids from foreign countries, etc., and having them be natural born citizens. So there we have it. The judge is wrong on this one, I would believe, because I don't think he actually knows what this is. It was mostly meant for slavery and slavery alone, and that was it. Not meant for foreigner people. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.